Hello, this is Storm Morgan coming at you today with another video update. And today we're going to talk about the potential Tropical Cyclone 8, which will bring a pretty impactful storm to us today here in the Carolinas, all throughout the Carolinas, including parts of South Carolina as well. And we'll talk about the impacts and how that will play out today. If you've been liking my weather content, please subscribe as I will bring daily weather updates as I go through each day if I can. So can't talk this morning, please forgive me. But without further ado, we're gonna get right into it because we do kind of have a lot to talk about. So we're gonna start off with satellite imagery, which shows potential tropical cyclone 8 moving towards the coast of North Carolina, South Carolina, and it looks to generally be moving towards the North Carolina South Carolina border. So the further northwest track seems to be on play today from earlier runs of the HRRR model, which showed that scenario. So expect winds to really increase only as we go through the day. So it's probably one of those days where weather only goes downhill as we go through the day. So expect heavier rainfall, expect gustier winds, and also expect a tornado threat, particularly for areas right along the I-95 corridor. It's probably somewhere right along here with the highest tornado threat, probably up in here somewhere. But it could definitely still be a sneaky tornado threat right through the triangle area as well, towards Raleigh. But I would say areas to just east of I-95 towards Rocky Mount, points east, probably had the highest chance of a tornado threat. But do not be surprised you get one of these cells push closer towards the triangle area, towards that Raleigh, Durham, not Durham, but probably Raleigh as far as west as that tornado threat really can get. But SPC generally has things right on I-95 corridor points east, but I wouldn't be surprised you get a sneaky tornado threat to push as far back west as Raleigh. But that all depends on a little bit more mesoscale factors and all that. So we'll get into that as we go. But this is potential tropical cyclone 8, and generally, you know, whether it gets a name or it doesn't get a name does not really matter. I'm already seeing people saying, "Oh, it might not get a name." Well, that doesn't really matter. Impacts still will be the same. We'll still see heavier rain, gusty winds, and we will still see a tornado threat. If it does get a name, it'll be Helene, but you know, it only has a couple more hours over water, so this is generally moving northwest. So it should make landfall pretty soon as a potential tropical cyclone 8. It may get the name Helene, but again, that does not really matter at this point in time. So again, impacts will still be pretty impactful today. So we're going to start off by just showing you the wind threat, the wind gusts as we go through our day to day. I'm going to start with the HRRR model, and this is from 06D this morning, and we're going through time, and we're going through the afternoon, and gusts, they increase. They increase to the 40 to isolated 50-mile-an-hour range. You got a couple areas of 55 mile an hour winds. So generally, winds look to be from that 35 to 45 mile an hour range. HRRR was a little bit more aggressive yesterday. Certainly come down, but again, with that high pressure to your north and then that low pressure to your south, you create a tight gradient, and this should bring us gustier winds throughout the region, leading to some power outages. I don't know if power outages will be widespread because it's all dependent upon how strong these winds get. So without that also depends on how our wind threat evolves. Right now, my forecast is anywhere between 35 to 45 mile an hour gusts, which could certainly lead to power outages across the region. So you'll want to be aware of that. But this is just the latest forecast from HRRR. You got a couple of 40 mile an hour gusts over here near Raleigh. You got a couple of 50 mile an hour gusts down towards Fayetteville and so forth towards Goldsboro. So overall, you got some pretty gusty winds today. Again, the National Weather Service in Raleigh talked about issuing a wind advisory, but there just wasn't enough consistency to issue that because we don't know how frequent these gusts will actually be. So again, expect some gustier winds, particularly as we go through the day. We're getting towards the 3 o'clock hour. Winds will start to increase, particularly from Fayetteville, and then as we get towards that 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock time frame, winds will certainly increase towards Raleigh and towards areas further back west towards Greensboro and Charlotte tonight. So winds will only increase as we go through the day and through tonight. So we're drop down, look at the NAM 3KM model, and we're going through time, and it increases winds fairly quickly. The NAM 3KM shows winds increasing by 11 a.m. this morning. Again, the NAM may be too aggressive with winds because it's showing a 65 mile an hour gusts just south of Fayetteville. So, and it's showing almost 50 mile an hour gusts towards Raleigh area. This may be a little aggressive from the NAM 3KM, but it just goes to show you that we do expect gusty winds today. But the NAM 3KM just shows all out, pretty decent wind bag today throughout the area through most of today. We're getting towards the 12 a.m. time frame, and the NAM 3KM still shows gusty winds. Again, this model may be a little aggressive. I think the more smart conservative middle ground would probably be 35 to 45 mile an hour gusts with isolated 50 mile an hour gusts. But the NAM 3KM certainly shows a much more impactful scenario as far as winds go. But that's something to watch out for. But the NAM, is showing winds gaining significant speed by 11 a.m. this morning. So we'll keep watching that to see how that verifies. I think it's maybe a little bit aggressive. Now here we have the ARW model. It's another short range model that we use in forecasting, and we're going through time, and it also increases winds as we go through our late morning afternoon, generally through that 45 mile an hour to 50. This model also seems pretty aggressive as well. It's showing almost a 60 mile an hour gust today. So overall, short range models are hinting at a pretty decent wind bag today with our potential tropical cyclone. So overall, guys, I think this storm may catch a lot of people off guard. In my opinion, this will be pretty impactful with rain totals in that 2 to 5 inch range with probably higher totals to our south towards Fayetteville, points east. So overall, this looks like a pretty impactful scenario. Here's another model that I want to show you with our wind gusts. This is the NSSL model, another short range model that we use in forecasting. And again, this model shows same thing as a NAM. It shows a very impactful scenario with a pretty significant wind bag. Now, I think the reason why some of these models show a more significant wind bag is because they have a stronger system coming on shore. Right now, I don't know if that'll happen, but again, I'm showing you all this to just only further confirm that we will see gustier winds today. Some of these models may be too aggressive, but overall, the general theme is that we will see gustier winds as we go through the afternoon. So the extent of that is still up in the air. Generally, though, my forecast is 35 to 45 with isolated higher gusts in areas, which could lead to power outages across the region. And then here's another model, FV3 model, that comes through, and it too brings gustier winds through the evening. So nearly all, if not all, short range guidance shows gustier winds reaching the entire Carolinas as we go through the afternoon and evening. Now our tornado threat is also going to be something that's significant. And before I show you that, I want to take you through reflectivity off the NAM 3KM because I have it up. And as we go through time, rain's already starting. As I'm making this video, it's raining outside my house right now. As we go through the afternoon, notice these bands that come through, and I'm going to highlight this so that you know what I'm talking about. You see these higher reflectivities and this red and all this right here? Well, what's happening is that as you get this center of low pressure to push northwest towards that Charlotte Greensboro area, we're on the east to the northeast side of this system. And what happens is sometimes you'll get these bands of higher reflectivities that can produce isolated spin-up tornadoes. So this is what the NAM is showing. It's showing a pretty nice big old band of showers and thunderstorms moving through late this evening, producing a tornado threat across the region, particularly from that Raleigh points eastward area. So I don't want to dismiss the tornado threat because there is actually a 5%. I forgot to pull it up. I'll probably pull it up before I leave here. But there's a 5% tornado risk towards Greenville, Jacksonville, Wilmington area, with a 2% as far west as Rocky Mount, Fayetteville. So this could certainly be a big issue. I think this is another underrated thing for today. I think we could certainly see tornado warnings in the area today, particularly though from areas right along the I-95 corridor. to points east towards Greenville, Jacksonville, Wilmington. But again, do not be surprised if you can get a sneaky band of storms to sneak as far west as Raleigh to give us a tornado threat as well today. So now as after I show you that, I want to show you here this updraft velocity map, and this doesn't show you where a tornado will happen, but it goes to show you where rotation is happening, or we have updrafts from thunderstorms. And generally, the Nantucket Him is kind of aggressive. It shows this whole area right here highlighted in the updraft velocities, noting that there could be potential rotation in some of these thunderstorms that form today. So there could certainly be a nasty tornado threat today, if things pan out the way they should. But generally, in that area that I circle right there has the highest potential for a tornado threat today, based off what I'm seeing off the NAM 3KM model and those more enlarged photographs. So there's certainly something to watch out for today. And here's our rainfall forecast for today. And again, highest rainfall totals will certainly be from Fayetteville, points south and east towards Wilmington, and even the Jacksonville area. These areas right here had the highest potential for flash flooding. There's even a moderate risk of flash flooding for Wilmington, and points a little bit south and east of there. But generally across the region, we're expecting anywhere from about 2 to 4 inch rain totals from all the other places towards Greensboro, Charlotte, Hickory, Asheville, Raleigh, and Greenville. Generally, we're expecting anywhere from 2 to 4 inch rainfall totals, which could certainly cause flash flooding if it comes down heavy enough. So we'll have to watch rain rates through the day, because if we get heavy rain rates over a period of time, we could certainly see that flash flooding increase as we go through our afternoon. So overall, guys, this is a pretty impactful storm. We expect heavy rainfall on the order of 2 to 4 inch rainfall totals. We expect wind to be anywhere from 35 to 45 mile an hour gusts. And then we expect a tornado threat, particularly though right along the I-95 corridor, points east. But I could certainly see that tornado threat getting as far west as Raleigh. But that's, again, mental scale factors. Typically, when it comes to things like that, you're kind of just nowcasting, checking radar. But I want to look at the updated 12Z while we're here, because I want to see has anything changed on that as far as the wind gust forecast. This is a fresh model run. It's just coming out as we speak, and we're going through time this afternoon, and it generally shows the same thing that it was showing. 40, 45 mile an hour gusts as we go through the afternoon. It's even showing some stronger gusts towards the Raleigh area. So again, expect some pretty strong gusts as we go through the afternoon. Generally on the order of 35 to 45 mile an hour gusts is my forecast for the entire region. But there could certainly be gusts as high as 50. If you get under one of those stronger, heavier rain bands, you could certainly see stronger wind gusts. So overall, guys, don't be surprised if you have a few power flickers today from stronger wind gusts, heavier rainfall. Don't be surprised you get under a tornado warning, especially points east towards that I-95 corridor. You can certainly see a few tornado warnings over here, so you want to be on alert for that as well. I'm already seeing some really strong rotation coming off some of these storms already off the coast. So if you're from Jacksonville, Greenville, Wilmington, and you're along the I-95 corridor, please stay weather aware for that tornado threat, because it could certainly be an underrated topic today. Don't see too many people talking about it, but it could certainly be a big deal. And that wind threat as well. Watch out for any weaker trees around you, because saturated ground from heavier rains and recent rains, you get a gust of about 40, 45 mile an hour, and you're definitely taking down branches and some small trees with that type of wind. So before I leave here, I told you I was going to show you the SPC outlook forecast. And here we go. And this is our day one outlook. And generally, and again, slight risk. And then you have that margin risk. And it typically tends to extend as far west as Raleigh. You see that little line right there. So that margin risk extends pretty much right here. And then your slight risk is typically from those areas from Wilmington to Greenville to Jacksonville. So that's the area the highest for tornado potential today. But again, it would not surprise me if you see tornado threat extends as far west as Raleigh. So again, stay weather aware. This will be an impactful storm today. Certainly something that's probably being a little bit underrated. People probably not taking it as serious, but please stay weather aware because it could certainly catch somebody off guard if you're not paying attention. Tomorrow I'll bring you another video, probably doing an overview of today's storm and my forecast to see how it verified. And yeah, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.